And hello and welcome everyone to the comic multiverse where the worlds of nerd meet. Matt, it's our 108th episode.
108 episodes. We're almost at 110.
I
How long ago was goddamn 100 episodes? 8 weeks ago. It's gone by
Something
so
like that.
so quickly.
This is what happens when you're consistent, Matt. We hit milestone after milestone. It's hard to keep up.
It
Actually,
is.
speaking of milestones, I was going to talk to you about this after the show, but fuck it, let's put it in the beginning. Next week is San Diego Comic-Con, and as is always the case, there's usually a ton of news after that. That Sunday, do we want to do another live show? Because we have the technology now. We did it before, and it worked out pretty good.
Yeah, I mean we might as well.
All right,
People
I'm home
people would
now.
like it, I think.
All right, mark that on your calendars, everybody. This coming Sunday, which will be what is it, the 22nd. I think Comic-Con starts on the Thursday and then goes to the end of the week. We'll have
Yeah.
a big super show that Sunday. It'll be live. It'll be live, damn it, on Twitch.
It'll be live. We're gonna be doing it live.
Doing it live, people, on the Cape Joel Twitch. You can check it out. It's in the description. Man, I tried streaming some Darkest Dungeon last night, and it was really embarrassing, but not because I kept losing and dying. It was embarrassing because I truly found the limitations of my computer that I use for editing and have had for everything. It's like, oh, okay, so I can play games fine. I can stream from the PlayStation fine, but God help me if I try and play a game and stream at the same time.
I know what you mean, but yeah, I'm actually in the process of like upgrading my computer at the moment. I'm getting all new parts and everything, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm such a stickler for that thing. I'm like, well, I work online, I work on the computer, I deserve a nice computer. And then I'm like, yeah, but I'm a console guy though, and I spent a bunch of money on my console. If I start buying computers just to play games on, then I enter a whole other bracket of nerddom I will never return from.
No, no, you won't.
There's no coming back from that. Once you become the guy who builds your own computer for gaming and everything else, there is no return.
There is. I'm stuck. I'm lost.
Another piece of news I figured we talk about before we hop into the news proper. I just figured this out on Twitter. I had no idea, and we don't normally do this, but I think we should start doing it. A very very happy birthday I want to wish to Mr. Tom King, whose birthday is today apparently.
Hey, was it the day before yours?
Yes, which I
Yeah.
didn't know that. I'm like, Tom King's birthday is the day before mine. How does that work? Also, apparently Scott Snyder's wife's birthday is also today.
Oh, geez, everyone's birthday.
So goddamn weird. And I share a birthday. What is it with my grandfather actually, which ain't that something?
Wow.
Because I'm my own grandfather, a la Futurama. That's where my power comes from. But yeah, the happy birthday to you there, Tom King. We talk a lot of shit about you on the show, but we do actually like your work, and we're not horrible people. We're not monsters.
No.
And I promise we won't. Well, actually, no, I can't promise we won't talk any shit about you this week because there's some things we're going to be discussing, Matt. I think the biggest piece of news that happened this week was 4chan supposedly got a hold of some DC Comics leaks that would, if true, give us insight into what's going to be coming for the rest of 2018.
Yeah, and I figure like some of these probably aren't true. Some of them are like what we do and just educated guesses. Other things I mean, we've got San Diego Comic Con coming up, so things could
Yep.
be announced there.
That's the beautiful thing. We're gonna find out if these are true or not in the next couple of weeks. And
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. Usually when it comes to comic book related leaks, they fall into a couple fields: either wishful thinking from fans,
Hmm.
educated guesses, or what is it? Shit that like is actually legitimately a leak. And normally I wouldn't even talk about leaks on this show because I don't want that to be the kind of show the comic multiverse is. We have standards, dagnabbit. But here's the thing: the last couple leaks that like Reddit and 4chan got a hold of, they were both for Marvel, but they were basically 100% correct,
Yeah, barring a few little differences, which I could just chalk up to like them not getting like a word right or something. They
or just plans changing.
they were pretty much right.
So I guess with that, let's head on over to what is it, to Bleeding Cool, that was nice enough to compile all these rumors for us, so we don't have to go to 4chan. Although I think it's hilarious that they compile all the rumors, but at the same time, Rich Johnson's like, these rumors are bullshit, not like my rumors that I work really hard on to get together. These rumors are so dumb, but also here I put them all on the website, so feel free to read them.
Gotta get those clicks.
These are stupid, but read them. These were published on what is it, by Anonymous, very very trustworthy source, Anonymous. He's broken a lot of stuff over the years. Good guy. Loves cucumber sandwiches, Anonymous. But yeah, on July 9th. So here, let's read the first one. And interestingly enough, it does concern Tom King.
It does. A lot of these actually do.
They do, shockingly. The first one says that Tom King won't be changing any of his plot ideas despite the public backlash of the wedding. See, I wonder about that because the wedding was only not that long ago and the backlash was even less time ago. How could they even have time to tell him, hey, you gotta change shit?
Yeah, well, it's possible. Like, I think the next arc, which starts up next week, is like a Mr. Freeze arc. That could possibly be like, that could be like a filler or something, and then like the actual story of the wedding and everything gets in the next arc. So there might be some time to change a couple of things, maybe.
Possibly. There is more here. Like, I think the next couple arcs, because that's usually how it is. It's usually 1 to 2 arcs. Are already penciled in. You can't change it. People are drawing it. People are inking it and lettering it. You can't change it.
Yeah.
But supposedly, yeah, as you said, the next 2 arcs will be about Bruce Wayne self-respecting. Yeah, he's just gonna self-respect himself a lot.
Yeah, he's gonna do it for himself now.
He's gonna look in the mirror and be like, "You're good enough, you're smart enough, and dagnabbit, people like you, Bruce." But yeah, it's gonna be himself reflecting on being Batman as a good thing. He'll ask Dick to take over temporarily as Batman, and again, we already know this from solicitations that Bruce is going to be going to court, and Dick will be getting back into the Batman suit.
Yeah, which is really cool. I like Dick Bats.
Me too. That whole Grant Morrison run was amazing. They also say the Bane cliffhanger won't be followed up on until December/January, which makes me go motherfucker on a couple things. One, he's going to make us wait that long to actually deal with any of the ramifications of the disappointing wedding issue. And 2, wait, that really was Bane? Wait, that really happened? That wasn't just some weird coke dream?
Apparently that did happen. So, and again, like, this gives him enough time to like make some changes and sort of gauge responses and make changes to stuff people didn't like. So maybe that's the story that's going to be changed a little bit.
Hey Tom, don't be afraid to ask your buddy Tim Seeley for help. You've worked so good together on Grayson, and Tim Seeley actually knows how to tell a story with a beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah, as seen in the prelude comics to the wedding, which didn't have any ramifications.
Which didn't matter at all, so maybe you owe him a little something, just saying. Dick Bats apparently won't be won't be a thing in the Justice League book. Didn't think so. That looks to be Snyder's thing. I didn't expect it to spill over. But apparently it will be acknowledged in Ben Percy's Nightwing.
Yeah, well, it kind of makes sense. Like, if he becomes Batman, what happens to the Nightwing book?
What happens to Bloodhaven? Does he just leave Bloodhaven unprotected for a couple weeks?
Yeah.
They're also going to be double shipping that book for a few months and then go back to the regular monthly shipping. DC's also going to push a new Nightwing Batgirl relationship as damage control for the wedding, which again, love the idea, but also makes me think, well, how can they push that already when the wedding was just that long ago and it looked like they were already doing a Batgirl Nightwing thing in the Nightwing book anyway?
Yeah, it looked like they were setting up, because there was in that wedding tie-in, there was like little hints at it and everything, and yeah, they've put hints throughout like the Nightwing and Batgirl book and everything, so yeah. It's something that's been there.
It has been there. Again, could be wishful thinking. I hope it's true. I would like it if it was true. Because, I love them as a couple there. I also love them as a couple with Starfire, but Starfire's kind of off doing her own thing.
Yeah.
Keeping things in the realm of the Bat family, and this one was actually refuted on social media, so this one might not be true, but again, this person refuting it is a known liar, so who knows who you can believe. Apparently, the solo Red Hood direction will only be for an arc. Scott Lobdell originally wanted to use Roy Harper's death as the catalyst for this angle, but editors stepped in and made him use Joker's daughter instead.
It's just a lesser. I want to make this like really mean something for the character. Oh, can't have that. Just Joker's daughter. Remember her? Yeah.
I barely remember her. Also, motherfuck you, Scott Lobdell. You wanted to kill Roy Harper when he's just starting to get his shit together? What's wrong with you? Roy Harper hasn't even been in the Red Hood book for a while.
I know. He's been on what, the Titans?
Yes.
Yeah. He's not in the Titans now, but yeah.
No, he wasn't. Which, again, maybe he's like, ooh, he's not with the Titans anymore. I can kill him again. I can reach through books and kill him. I made him wear that stupid hat. Now I'm going to kill him too because I hate him so much.
I like the little thing at the end says like this will be like Scott Lobdell's last arc before he goes to focus on screenwriting.
I'm like, who wants him to do screenwriting? And again, Lobdell refuted this apparently on his Instagram, which I don't follow. I had to read it elsewhere. But he's like, no, I'm not going anywhere on Red Hood. What would ever make you think that? Which maybe this was old information. Maybe he was going to go and concentrate on more screenwriting jobs, but that got taken away from him or something. So he had to come back to Red Hood.
People laughed at him or something.
Yeah. Or again, maybe he's just lying because he doesn't want the people who are his fans to not buy the book if they know this is going to be his last one.
Yeah.
To which, again, part of me wishes that was true too in my own wishful thinking, because it's like, oh really, he's going to be off the book? He might actually give someone else a turn to write Jason.
Really? Jason could actually be decent for once in his history.
I know, right? It's a weird ass thought, isn't it? Someone else potentially writing Red Hood and maybe actually trying to hammer a three-dimensional character out of him. It is so weird, the death grip that Scott Lobdell has had over Red Hood from the New 52. He's like the only holdover.
Yeah, it's very strange. Maybe because no one gives a shit about the character.
I think that helps. I think it's helps that he's an older creator who's good friends with the old guard at DC who keep him in work. So that's probably why.
Yeah.
All right. What else do we have here? Oh, here's another one from what could very well be the wishful thinking department, but God, I hope it's true. Peter Tomasi will be on Detective Comics, but not after issue 1000.
Yeah, I'm sure we sort of pitched this idea at one point where when he was coming off Superman, we say, just send him over to Detective Comics. That'd be really awesome.
Yeah, he does excellent Batman work. He has a bunch of stories he could go back to from his Batman and Robin run. Yep. Apparently, his pitch for this series would be a globe-trotting Batman fighting the League of Assassins. Works for me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Works for me, but it also makes me sad too. It's like, really, we gotta wait till past issue 1000 for them to get a new consistent writer for Detective Comics?
We're almost there.
I guess so, right? I guess
we're 10 issues away.
That's true. And again, because they do it every other week, we'll probably get there quicker.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they're doing. They're just stalling till they can get to the big landmark issue before they put anyone more solid on it.
I'm pretty sure, because I think over the next... Because, we got the Black Lightning arc, and I think it's just, filler until, issue 1000.
James Robinson gets an arc after.
Yeah.
There's no word gets an arc after him.
Yeah, so he's probably doing it till issue 1000. Then it's going to have the big issue, and then something new.
Right. All right. From there, we move on to events, mainly Heroes in Crisis. The inside scuttlebutt, apparently, is that it's in a messy state. Of course it is. It's a Tom King story.
It's a Tom King book.
The man's barely written a series that's gone past 12 issues. Now he's writing a whole event on his own? What the fuck did you think was going to happen? I don't know, man. We just keep doing the wrong things, and we don't know what's happening. Tom King originally wanted to do a 6-issue miniseries about PTSD. Of course he did, because every series he's done so far has been about PTSD.
I was just about to say that every series from Vision to Mr. Miracle, Omega Man, it's all been about PTSD. Can the guy write nothing else?
I haven't read Sheriff of Babylon, but I'm sure if I cracked it open, it would be about PTSD.
Yeah, or the main character has PTSD or something. Yeah.
There you go. But Didio wanted it to be more like Identity Crisis 2.0. Again,
Oh
of
no.
course he did.
Oh no.
Didio's name pops up here a bunch, actually, and as we reported on earlier, Jeff Johns isn't top dog anymore, and the power structure of DC Comics is kind of in flux right now.
Hmm.
It's scary how much Didio's name keeps coming up here.
Yeah, yeah.
But again, keeping it as Identity Crisis 2.0, that was, of course, a murder mystery. It had some cool stuff in it, but it also had some real, like, character assassinating
Yeah.
moments that I didn't quite enjoy. The three suspects are apparently going to be Booster Gold, Harley Quinn, and Wally West. And, oh yeah, hey, spoilers. These might be spoilers. They might be bullshit, but if you care enough about Heroes in Crisis, maybe skip ahead a couple minutes.
Yeah, well, in saying that, we know these characters are involved in this in
We
some
do.
way, so yeah.
They've been on the cover. But yes, since they're the only survivors, which means this one's going to have a pretty big body count, the two victims are Ray Palmer. Ah, really? You're killing off the Atom? He just got his shit back together, too.
Yeah, yeah.
And also Kyle Rayner. Ooh.
He just got his shit back together as well.
Why? Again, this feels like another Didio thing. Why does DC hate Kyle Rayner so much? Is it because he's not Hal and they just punish him forever for not being Hal?
I think so. You're not Hal, so you have to always die and be like the butt of the joke and everything.
So fuck you, Kyle. Rayner doesn't die until late in this event, though the killer is revealed to be Hunter Zolomon, disguised as Wally.
We just had him. We just had him in Flash War as the main villain.
I was gonna ask you. A lot of this also comes back to the Flash books as well, which makes me think, shit, I need to start reading Flash now, apparently, because this all seems really important. Now, were they given any indication that Wally was Zolomon? And again, they just say Wally. They don't say if it's White Wally or Black Wally.
No, well, I'll talk about that event when we talk about what we read because it finished up this week. But yeah, there's like no hint that like he's that Wally Wally has somehow become Hunter or Hunter has become Wally, especially since Hunter's just sort of disappeared at the end of that event.
Yeah, all right then. So that's good to know. I'm glad you could kick the Flash knowledge here. After the fallout from this event and Flash War, Wally is going to be getting a miniseries written by, they say John Walker, but John Walker isn't anybody. I think they meant David F. Walker, but their brains auto-completed Johnny Walker the whiskey.
Maybe that's what they were on when they were writing this.
Getting his life back together with Linda. Again, this tracks to something that Bleeding Cool wrote, that yes, David F. Walker was coming in. Yes, he was going to be writing something Flash related. So this kind of tracks.
Yeah, it could be happening.
So I assumed if they got David F. Walker, he would be writing Wally 2, not Wally 1.
Maybe both of them.
Maybe both at the same time. Again, there could be some shit that happens there. Here's another one that feels obvious, but also kind of feels like wishful thinking. Huge Justice League crossover happening in January between the main Justice League book, Justice League Dark, that will be going on, and maybe Justice League Odyssey. Superboy Prime will be the villain as he is released from the Source Wall.
Yeah, makes sense. Source Wall's been destroyed. He has to be released from it.
I'm sure there's a whiteboard somewhere at the DC offices where they just have a bunch of names of guys who have come out of the Source Wall they can use, and I'm sure Superboy Prime there is really big.
I'll talk about Superboy Prime when I talk about Flash War.
Please do. And here's also the question, too, that I'm asked about this. Wait, weren't Justice League Dark and Justice League Odyssey just supposed to be miniseries? So, what, they're going to have tie-ins to this a big event while also just being miniseries?
I guess so. I guess they're minis until they see how well the first issues sell.
How very Marvel of them.
Yeah.
Now, here's the other thing. Apparently, Justice League Odyssey is dead on the rival, says Anonymous. Editorial demanded some changes to the script after Sajak had already drawn 2 issues. Sajak's pissed about it and is only going to do 4 issues instead of the 12. Then he'll write and draw his Black Label book, which is coming out.
We talked about this actually being a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we did.
Yeah, so yeah, it's because the guy on Twitter, Sajak, he was visibly pissed when we were talking about it because something did happen with that book. There was some script change or so,
or
like a
something.
character was there that wasn't meant to be or something. And yeah,
Which truly makes me wonder what could have pissed Sajak off at this, because he seems like an easygoing guy for the most part,
yeah, it's very strange. Maybe like editorial wasn't doing their job very well, and yeah,
or something.
that pissed him off or something. Yeah.
Seems odd. Now here's one that we've actually been talking about, and I've been ranting about quite a bit. So I hope this is true, if only so I can feel vindicated on this. Uh, Editorial is letting Adam Glass have a lot of leeway on his new Teen Titans book. No fucking shit, they are.
Yeah, if that special was any indication.
Yeah, he pitched it to them as a teenage Suicide Squad. Okay, seriously, when you pitch that for the Teen Titans, that's when you look away and stop listening.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They're letting him run with it. Yeah, they sure are. Between possible murder and possible black site prisons, and destroying years worth of character development for Damian Wayne and Wally too, and Emiko as well. Expect new characters to join and others to be killed off. Oh God, help us.
Yeah, the T's gonna be like changing rosters every other week because Damian Wayne can kill people now, and
At any minute, yeah.
Yeah.
The higher-ups are really happy with this direction so far, which again leads me to believe, what higher-ups are you talking about? It's not Jeff Johns anymore. Leadership at DC Comics is all over the place. I assume when you say higher-ups, you mean Dan DiDio is really happy with this.
yeah, Dan DiDio editorial.
And also maybe some Jim Lee stuff too. Jim Lee also gets some mentions here too. Apparently, because like with John stepping down, Lee and DiDio got made co-publishers. Mm-hmm. Keep in mind, these were two guys who were also major architects of the New 52 as well.
Yeah, and you can see like all like the little New 52 isms sort of creeping back in, like edgy Suicide Squad, but they're teenagers and
yeah,
we're hip and cool.
Yeah, Titans isn't edgy enough. Speaking of Titans, on the other hand, the top brass isn't happy with what Dan Abnett's doing. He has about 8 issues of scripts already done.
Because it's good.
Well, because it's good, and it also makes me think, whoa, wait, 8 issues of scripts already done, but like the issue 1 just came out this week. Does that mean that this was just going to be the book as he was writing it before they gave him the thing to shuffle the team around?
Well, see, does those 8 issues count the special as well?
Oh, right. Okay, maybe that's more closer to what it actually is. DC's going to double ship them just to get them out of the way before canceling or revamping the title. They're letting writers make pitches. The general feeling is that they want to move Nightwing out of the group and replace him with Red Robin. I can kind of see that, because
that undercuts Tim's arc from Detective, where he sort of left for college but kind of didn't. But kind of did.
To go work on his own thing, to go discover the secrets of the universe. Again, I think a lot of this comes down to Young Justice synergy.
Yeah.
Which, in fact, they mentioned that in the next one, too. Brian Edward Hill will be writing an Outsiders title. Again, he's basically creating the Outsiders now in his Detective Comics run, with Black Lightning, Katana, Geoforce, and Halo, all the original members, with Nightwing replacing Batman as the team supervisor. And again, this is where they use the word for Young Justice synergy. Simon Baz will also be on the team, because they can't have Metamorpho because he's on the Terrifics.
Well, it makes sense Simon Baz will be in this, because I don't think he's going to be in the Green Lantern book proper.
No, we're going to talk about that. But again, Simon Baz on this team as a replacement for Metamorpho. Again, this sounds like them just pulling shit out of their ass now at this point.
Yeah, just like, well, what characters do we have left for this team that don't interfere with anything else? It's Simon. Just use him.
In fairness, Nightwing actually did lead his own version of the Outsiders for a little bit, so that's not out of the realm of impossibility.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I can see if season 3 of Young Justice is called The Outsiders, if that's something they actually want to run with.
Yeah.
All right, so now again, here, dovetailing off some stuff we know is true, Grant Morrison's Green Lantern is real. Actually, the rumor is not only is it real, but it's going to be announced at San Diego Comic-Con this week.
Yeah. I hope it's real.
Same here. It's only going to be a 12-issue run, but it's going to deal with Hal Jordan exploring the multiverse, because Grant Morrison loves the multiverse, and learning about how willpower works in other worlds. Yeah, all right.
That'd be cool. I mean, if he explores the multiverse like he did in Multiversity, includes those characters, the Gentry, all those weird things.
Oh, Pax Americana.
Yeah, all those weird things. I'm more than happy.
I'm okay with that too. Also, Green Lanterns is going to turn back into Green Lantern Corps, and it's going to focus on Guy, Kilowog, and John Stewart, with Dan Jurgens continuing to write. So the fucking same as it ever was.
Cool. The other thing that makes me think this Grant Morrison thing is he's actually coming back to DC because he's writing the Sideways annual.
Oh, that's right.
And it was even more interesting. The Sideways annual includes his new 52 Superman, the one in the shirt with the cape and jeans.
I saw that. That's right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Kelly Sue DeConnick taking over Aquaman. Again, this was another story Bleeding Cool broke.
Mm-hmm.
After the big Suicide Squad crossover that they're dealing with right now, she'll be writing mainly about Mera as the new Queen of Atlantis, and Aquaman will stay on the run as an underwater Robin Hood, and they'll kind of have, an Romeo and Juliet doomed romance thing going on. That's not a bad pitch at all.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I would like to see just Aquaman just come back as just King of Atlantis.
I mean, they'll build up to that, I'm sure, in time for the movie.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's their thing, where it's like, no, we'll have that for the movie. Let's screw around before that. The thing about Aquaman is he goes through radical changes every few years anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, might as well screw around with it.
Yeah, every other writer tries to, like, make them cool or interesting. Like
Reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Brian Azzarello, who, again, from the article we had talked about before, so this seems the most likely, will be taking Suicide Squad back to its roots. Kind of. Harley, Deadshot, and Boomerang are going to stay because apparently they're the linchpins of this series now, even though really only Deadshot and Boomerang are, but people know Harley from the movie, so...
Yeah.
But the rest will be made up of expendable villains who can and will die, like Cheshire, Clock King, and Raptor, with a mix of old and new. DC might actually publish this under the Black Label.
So if it's under the Black Label, it's not canon?
That's the question, isn't it? I would love the idea of a Brian Azzarello Suicide Squad that is out of canon and under the Black Label, but would they actually do that?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah. Here's another story that makes me feel vindicated from this supposed leak of rumors. Again, what's true, what's not, we'll have to figure out. But New Age of Heroes has been disappointing. You don't fucking say.
Really? Oh, my God. I never would have thought.
Really, a bunch of heroes that are Xeroxes of Marvel characters didn't do so well, and especially didn't do so well when Marvel started getting their shit together again.
Yeah, and bringing the characters they're aping of back.
Yeah, almost despite them. Sales-wise, The Unexpected is done after 6 issues. Immortal Men and Damage are ending at 12. The Terrifics is doing well enough to last. No, really, the team that was made up of all actual characters people know anyway is doing the best. No fucking shit.
I'm reading that, and it is really good. It's really fun.
There you go. The one that Jeff Lemire literally said, yes, this is my Fantastic Four pitch that they wouldn't let me do. So yeah, that one's doing well enough to last. Sideways and Silencer might get a few more issues because, get this, Dan DiDio likes them.
Yeah, well, we know at least Sideways is getting an annual, so yeah.
Really? DiDio likes Sideways? Which one of these books did he work on? Oh, Sideways? Really?
Oh, really? Oh, he likes the book he's working on.
I liked this one because I worked on it. That's how you know it's good. No one's going to tell me no. Actually, I talk shit, but I actually kind of like Silencer, too. Of all the new ones, I'm like, okay, I could actually see this one continuing.
Yeah.
And Silencer's getting a Nightwing crossover, so there you go.
Yeah.
So that one might actually stick around for a little longer. But yeah, there's all the supposed DC leaks, everyone. Only time will tell if they're true or not. I think some of them have a good chance of being true, and some sound a little too far-fetched.
Yeah, again, they all fall into different categories. Some are educated guesses. Some are just like people wanting what they want, and others are just like, yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah, that feels like, again, the source close to my butthole has told me. This is what's going to happen. And again, because Skype has fucking changed its entire thing now, do you think I can find my notes anymore?
Probably not.
No, I can't. I had all the... Okay, here you go. I'm just going to open the goddamn text file again because Skype isn't being a team player. But all right, so we talked about DC Comics leaks, but we got a couple more stories to cover. First and foremost, Extermination, the big X-Men event that's coming down the pipeline that says that it's going to put everything right again in the X-Men universe, has teased the return of Cyclops.
Yeah, we got like a poster with Cyclops on it, and I don't know how to feel about this. Is this going to be genocidal? Cyclops?
I think the idea is like, me, Cyclops, am back now, am fixed and like you remember. Bye-bye, young me. Let us forget this happened. Or he's going to be like, nah, that Cyclops wasn't me. That was a Skrull.
Yeah, that was just an evil doppelganger.
Yeah, that was from the dark dimension. Yeah, that wasn't me. I've actually been sitting in a box this whole time. Me, real Cyclops. Me, I'm back now. Me, I'm good. That would be funny if they pop back like before Schism or like before the Grant Morrison run and just grab that Cyclops and bring him to the future. And that's
Yeah,
the end
they
of
they
that
do it.
chapter.
They do it on their way back from dropping the other ones back in the '60s. They're like, oh, we'll
Yeah.
just like make a detour here and grab that Cyclops. And,
What's our favorite version of him? Let's just grab one.
yeah. Oh, the '90s.
There you go. I mean, his costume is a little 90s horrific. He's got the blue with the yellow trim and everything.
Yeah,
He just doesn't have like the bandolier.
yeah.
Because it's like people forget where it's like Cyclops, when he's written well, can actually be a good character. It's just a shame that he was the X-Men whipping boy for decades leading to his death.
Yeah, yeah, it's very strange the way that they wrote him, like in his final years as well. They just turned him into
Oh
like
yeah.
this mad tyrant.
Yeah. He was literally the neglected son of the X-Men universe. Where it's like, well, we can't do this to Wolverine or any of the characters people like. Who's popular enough but no one likes? Oh, Cyclops. Okay, we'll do it all to him though.
Yeah, all of it will be on him.
All to him every time. It's all on Cyclops.
And I like to think like writers come in and say, "Oh, I've got this really cool story I want to tell with like Nightcrawler." It's like, no, we can't do that with Nightcrawler. But Cyclops, on the other hand,
Cyclops, give it all to him. Now here's the thing though, will they start acting right with a proper return Cyclops, but then like as the years drag on, will they start piling more shit on him again?
yeah, he starts thinking, "Oh, maybe we should wipe out these humans," and oh no, these Inhumans.
Hey guys, I've been reading this book and I'm beginning to think maybe Magneto's right. Now excuse me for a second as I have a mind affair with Emma Frost. Boy, am I a dick. Also, hey, Wolverine, can you and your anti-hero friends form a brand new secret arm of X-Force that I can send to destroy my enemies? Sure, Shades, whatever you say. I can do it. Bub, I'm also back from the dead. Hey, we both came back from the dead around the same time.
Yeah, my claws burn shit now.
That's cool. But yeah, from there we have another new title coming from Marvel Comics. The Superior Octopus solo series is coming.
Yeah, Otto Octavius or maybe someone else is coming back.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because it's like, hey, wait a minute, why is he still wearing the Hydra affiliate costume in this cover when we know he got a new costume at the end of Spider-Man 800?
Yeah, very intriguing. Maybe this is like set before that and just tells you how he gets there.
Maybe, because they have not announced. They've announced this series, but they have not announced the writer who's going to be doing it. Which I think a lot of people say, well, it has to be Dan Slott. Superior Octopus has been Slott's baby this whole time.
Yeah, no, not necessarily.
Not necessarily at all. Yeah, it could totally be someone else. I have to wonder where I'm like, I know there was a time when all I ever wanted was a Superior Octopus solo series. I kind of have to say now, I'm like, is this maybe like a little too late to do this
yeah.
now?
Yeah, maybe, but like I know a lot of people were really excited at the end of issue 800 with him sort of coming back in like a Peter
Yeah.
Parker-esque body and everything.
Yeah, and working for not quite Google Horizon Labs.
Yeah.
I wonder, will he still be working in New York, or will he have to go to another city? I think he has to go to another city, because if he tries to be Superior Octopus in New York, that's going to cause too many problems.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, he could be what's causing Peter all these problems.
It could be, and we'll talk about that when we talk about what we read this week. It's funny. What was great about the Superior Spider-Man cycle is that it was the one time they tried to do anti-hero Spider-Man and have it really, really work.
Yeah.
It seems like they keep trying that every so often. Like, that's basically what Scarlet Spider was. Yeah, hey, but what if he was evil, though? What if he was an anti-hero? To where I'm like, well, okay, well, how's this superior octopus going to be different than that?
Yeah.
Besides the obvious fact that I won't have to follow Ben Reilly, because screw Ben Reilly. Every time Ben Reilly shows up, I'm like, oh my god, go away. You were Dust. Go back to being Dust, you stupid clone. Yes, I know a whole generation started reading Spider-Man and it was you, but that wasn't my generation, damn it. You were forever the singular representation of the goddamn Clone Saga, you stupid blonde-haired prick. Go away. I arguably like Kane more than you, because Kane had better writers than you.
Oh, and that's saying something.
Yeah. And Kane's costume was cooler than yours, too. I hope it's an unlockable in the PS4 Spider-Man game. Stupid Ben Reilly. But on to some good news, actually, and this was super unexpected. I think this took everyone who read this one by storm. G. Willow Wilson, who has, of course, just been tearing it up with Ms. Marvel, one of Marvel Comics' biggest successes of the last decade, it's been announced that she is going to be the new writer on Wonder Woman moving forward as of November.
Awesome.
That is awesome. That's a huge fucking get for DC Comics, and I'm sure Marvel kicked themselves just a little bit. It's like, we could have had her write Captain Marvel. God damn it, why didn't we get her to write Captain Marvel? Fuck. She was right there, and we didn't do it. But yeah, I think that's totally awesome, and I think this is kind of unheard of, too. Like, I assume that G. Willow Wilson was, like, had signed an exclusivity deal with Marvel. Apparently not.
Yeah, well, it's like a lot of like writers like are going sort of back and forth. Like, we've got Jeff Lemire back over at Marvel now after his long run at DC, and now we've got Brian Michael Bendis, and now G. Willow Wilson's coming over.
Mm-hmm. It's quite the thing, and I think this might be a historic moment in so much as I don't think anyone has ever written one of the Trinity books at DC while also being an ongoing writer at Marvel, because she's not leaving Miss Marvel. She's going to be writing both.
Yeah, I'm just trying. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think this is like the first time this has actually happened.
Like maybe Busiek for Justice League when he was also writing Spider-Man, but my math could be wrong on that one. But yeah, that's freaking huge. I think G. Willow Wilson is one of the most creative, interesting, compelling writers in a long time. Now, that being said, I've really only read her work on Miss Marvel, which in a lot of ways, I think one of the secrets to Miss Marvel is that G. Willow Wilson, in a lot of ways, is writing herself and writing her own experience.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how she works with a character that, like, she can't really impart that onto Wonder Woman as much.
She can, but not as much.
Yeah.
I know she wrote A-Force for a little bit. I enjoyed her A-Force, short-lived though it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to see Wonder Woman get a cool, interesting writer. Because again, Wonder Woman's also been one of those characters who's been going from writer to writer. There was the big, long Azzarello stretch. Then Rucka came back, and then it's just kind of been stop and go for a bit.
Yeah, I think James Robinson's been writing it for a while now, but yeah, his series is starting to get... It's not really a Wonder Woman series anymore. It's more focusing on her brother Jason at the moment.
That's unfortunate. They probably want a good, strong writer, too, in time for the Wonder Woman movie when that happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's good news. I'm excited for that. Speaking of new creative teams as well, there's going to be a new Shatterstar miniseries, which made me go, Shatterstar, who gives a fuck? Oh, but it's going to be written by Tim Seeley. Oh, I might have to read that now.
Good writer, not such a good character.
Character. I love how he was used in Deadpool. To where his literal existence is a punchline. I'm Shatterstar. I'm from the Mojoverse. That's funny. Tell me another one. Oh God, you're serious. This also spawned quite an interesting discussion on Twitter amongst writers and editors, and that is, hey, is Shatterstar technically a mutant?
Yeah, that's a good question.
He hangs out with the mutants a lot, but he was also born and raised on Mojo World, where they tried to, manufacture a strain of mutation, but does that actually mean he's a mutant by Earth standards? Him and Deadpool fall into that same category of they hang out in X-Men with X-Men teams, mostly in mutant-related books, but their actual status as mutants is up in the air.
Yeah, I kind of consider him like an interdimensional alien.
Yeah, more than a mutant.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's one for the comments section, everyone. Where do you stand on this hot button issue? Is Shatterstar a mutant? Yes or no? Dial 1 for yes, dial 2 for no.
Yes, the winning vote will be what he is.
Yeah, the winning vote from here on now will inform headcanon. You'll get a no prize if you win. But yeah, with that, everyone, I guess we can hop into what we read this week. And it was a pretty big week, Matt.
It was a really big week.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm sure you want to start with Superman, and I'm not going to stop you.
Let's start with Superman.
Yeah, what'd you think?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed Man of Steel. Man of Steel ended up being kind of just a meh series. It was I liked some of it, but like yeah, it wasn't as big as it probably should have been.
It's that ending that left a sour taste in the mouth, is what it was.
Yeah, where it's like, oh, okay, then why didn't you just do this in a series?
I know. It was like Ben just said, "Hey, I got some cookies back at the house. You want to come get some cookies?" "Yeah, I want some cookies." Then he kicks you in the balls with steel-toed boots, but he gives you there's like some cookie crumbs left over. It's like, I guess that was okay, but I wish he didn't do the ball thing.
Yeah, no, but this arc was really cool. It's sort of
Understated beginning.
Yeah, it was like Clark sort of having to deal with him not having his family there anymore because they're off with his own father, and him sort of saving the world, doing his Superman thing and everything, and Martian Manhunter getting kind of weird by saying like, you need to lead the people because you need to be a tyrant, you need to deal with this stuff. That was really weird.
Martian Manhunter's been reading a lot of Injustice. I thought it was just really cool. I think you should take over the world.
Oh, what I realized in my comments section as well is a lot of people didn't realize that he was saying exactly what Jor-El was saying in like the issue before, like literally exactly the same, which makes me think like, oh, is he like, are they connected somehow? Or because it's the same in Titans as well. He's very secretive in the Titans.
I'm 100% certain that Martian Manhunter we saw couldn't have been John, because Superman kept leaving and coming back, so there were opportunities for either him to jump into the Phantom Zone by accident or for someone to take Martian Manhunter out and impersonate him.
It's possible. I like that part where he's talking with John. He's like, just hold on a minute. Go punch a dinosaur in London and stop a fire. And well, I like that. I thought that was pretty cool.
That was a very fun Bendis moment, because you got to imagine every conversation with Superman is like that. He can't sit still for long because there's dangers all over the world.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. I like that we got a new Fortress of Solitude in a really cool place as well, the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, it's the same but different.
Yeah, I'm interested because like I'm surprised that like that hasn't been thought of before, like putting it there, because he's had one in the jungle, he's had like that weird sphere one, and all these weird ones, but he's never had one in the Bermuda Triangle where no one can really get to it.
Yeah, now he's got waterfront property too, which is going to affect the sale value down the line.
Oh, he's adapting Lex Luthor's plan. He's got to sell it off. He's got to sell off Otisburg and
create a new continent. It's all about land. Lex Luthor's really pissed off, like, damn it, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. I like the inclusion of the Dominators.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
As stopping them before they even got to Earth, I thought that was pretty cool.
Just because he happened to be out there. That annoyed me too, because it's like, again, much like at the end of Man of Steel, hey, Superman, you want to find your family. If only you knew a corps of space cops you could ask for help who patrol the whole galaxy. If only you knew wizards and psychics who could reach out to them using their powers.
Well, the Green Lanterns are going to be in the Supergirl books, so
interesting.
So yeah, but yeah, he does talk to John about that, and sort of try to find out where his family are and everything. And I think they're coming back in like issue 6.
Something. Well, Lois is coming back first, is what everyone keeps saying. But again. Yeah. I wonder if it's even Lois, or if again we're gonna keep doing this whole shapeshifter thing.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Either that, or I just envisioned a better story, and Ben just writes a lot of characters out of character to where I think they're imposters.
Yeah, no, it's got to be an imposter.
This is gonna be me for the next 3 years. Okay, but then we're finally gonna discover that everyone's been an imposter. Yes. This was all a white Martian invasion plan. Nope, they were all really them. Shit.
But how do you think the Earth got suddenly moved into the Phantom Zone?
Knowing Bendis, it might not have. He might just be imagining that, and he just wanted a cool page at the end.
That's possible, but I think the Earth is somehow moved in there because there's a couple of issues in that they talk about it, and I know he fights Rogol Zar again, so maybe Rogol Zar like. Are we gonna have like another thing where like I helped Jor-El invent the Phantom Zone or some shit?
I think that's has.
I came from the Phantom Zone or something.
Yes, like I'm a native to the Phantom Zone. That's where I met Jor-El, or like oh he tested it on me originally to make sure it worked.
Yeah, and that's how he became the warrior or something.
Yeah, because I lived 100 years in the Phantom Zone or some shit. Like you just know that's where they're going with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So get ready for that, everyone, if Matt and I totally called it again. But, yeah, what else do we have going on? Oh, Superman got a #1 this week, so fittingly, Spider-Man got a new #1 this week from Nick Spencer.
Yeah, and it was really cool.
It was. A writer that you and I like, but who catches a lot of shit for just doing what you're supposed to do with Captain America. This was funny, because, again, the big takeaway from this one is, hey, Peter and MJ are dating again, which almost felt like Spencer kind of doing the old olive branch to the fan community. Look, you still might hate me for Captain America, but look what I did.
Yeah, I made a Spider-Man.
I made a Spider-Man, love. Aren't you happy now? I feel like that's his plans, where it's like, yes, I will take the fans who are still irrationally mad at me about Captain America and set them up against the rabid fan base who want Mary Jane and Peter to be a thing again, and I will just walk away as they fight each other.
Yeah, you'll just walk away laughing maniacally.
I read that final page, and I'm like, Nick Spencer, you evil genius. You.
Yeah, now everyone likes him.
Just like that. That's hey, what did it take to make everyone like you again? I just, gave into decades worth of fans yelling. And it really
who knew it was that simple?
Who knew it was that simple? But it felt deserved, though. I like you set up this scenario where Peter's life is falling apart. Again, what else is new? And who's the only person he can talk to about it? Who's the only person who knows every side of him? It's MJ, of course.
It is. I thought that was really cool. And I liked how they went about like setting up his life to fail and everything with that. How they're referencing like the Superior Spider-Man where Slot sent the Otto Peter back to school to get his degree and everything, and that came back to bite Peter in the ass.
He lost his doctorate for a bit.
Yeah, he got fired from the Daily Bugle.
Which is funny because Slot just put him there and he lost it again.
Yeah. Oh, he'll be back. He'll be back as the guy giving the photos of Spider-Man and.
Of course, he's got to go back to do that to put his way through school, where his new teacher is going to be the Lizard.
That's so cool. I feel like that's going to be like kind of like the superior foe part of the book, where that's where all the comedy's going to kind of be.
He's got to study under the Lizard. I like the idea of Lizard not as a bad guy. I like he's just trying to live his day-to-day life as a lizard.
Yeah, he's like, oh, yeah, I may be a big monstrous lizard, but I'm also like a really, really smart teacher. I'm going to help Peter. And he does. He's the one who gets him into school and everything.
Yeah. Which I wonder if Spencer will address what happened to the Lizard at the end of Clone Conspiracy, where he was basically trying to live in the sewer with weird clones of his wife and son that were decaying.
Hey, maybe he still lives in the sewer, but he teaches on the side.
But he teaches on the side. Hey, man, sewer rent is rough in New York, as with everything. Gotta get a job on the side. Gotta get a side hustle, son. Mysterio had a moment in here, too, which I'm like, ooh, nice little foreshadowing for the movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed his little like Forks alien invasion sort of thing, and how I like how like Spider-Man he thinks he's gonna like stop the big alien ray in the sky, and he's gonna be a big hero, and everyone's gonna like him, and because he's died, and it's just Mysterio.
I like, too, that it's clearly Quentin Beck Mysterio, too, and they don't try too hard to explain how he came back to life. They're like, fuck it, it's just Mysterio. But what happened to Mysterion? No one cares what happened to Mysterion. Yeah, you're right, I don't care what happened to Mysterion.
They kind of explain it when they introduce that new villain, who doesn't have a name yet.
No, he might be a devil, he might be a demon, he can control rats and bugs, which is very satanic, and he even says, hey, Quentin Beck, I carried you out of hell. Yes,
so that's really interesting. I know people have been saying, like, oh, it could be, like, one of Peter's friends, like, it could be, like, Ned Leeds coming back or something, and I'm like, what?
That would be weird. It's
Yeah.
Judas Traveler. That's who it is. Judas Traveler was another stupid character that was invented during the Clone Saga.
Yep. Yep.
He had all the
It's
powers.
Ben Riley.
Oh, fuck, Ben Riley at it again. Why every time with your bullshit? It would be funny because, again, they definitely want to draw some comparisons to One More Day. It would be funny if this was not Mephisto, but another type of devil for Peter to overcome.
Yeah, they somehow undo One More Day or something.
Yeah, or something like that. They do something with it, or at least let Peter get his win back over the denizens of hell.
Yeah.
That would be fun, to be like, hey, I didn't beat Mephisto, but I beat another devil, though.
Yeah. What I really like, though, is kind of like Wilson Fisk's little part, and like his sort of plan to turn every hero in New York against Spider-Man by doing like a war on costumed heroes except for Spider-Man, and giving Spider-Man like the key to the city and all this sort of stuff.
Well, that's funny, and I liked that too, because obviously that gelled nicely with what's happening in Daredevil, where we actually see Fisk become mayor. I read the end of that arc today. That's going to be my next video I put up. Matt Murdock quits being assistant mayor on the condition that Fisk stop his war on the superhero community.
Oh, that's not gonna happen.
No, I mean, he's the fucking kingpin. Of course he's not going to do it. But yeah, I like this idea of like killing them with kindness and being like, look, if I just tell them that Spider-Man's great, all the other heroes are going to hate him. And I'm like, wow, getting heroes to fight without starting a civil war. What a novel concept. Just hurting their pride.
Yeah, and it works so well. I like that fight that he has with the Avengers, and like no one likes him. No one likes Spider-Man.
Even the Human Torch is giving him the cold shoulder, which I thought was impossible. Also, too, Nick Spencer reminding us he's a funny guy, and he can write a funny Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's really the perfect writer for this character.
He is, and I think even people who were mad at him during his Captain America run knew that and hated to admit it. And he clearly loves Spider-Man history and Spider-Man characters. Because look who he keeps bringing back and making reference to.
Yeah, exactly.
Man knows his shit. I think Spider-Man will be in good hands moving forward.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, what else did you have, Matt?
Had the Flash issue 50.
The big finale to Flash War, yes.
Yeah. This was Hunter Zolomon trying to fix the past, present, and future by sort of gaining all of the force powers. He's got the Speed Force, the Stage Force, the Strength Force, and he's got to go after the last one, which is the Still Force.
Ah, right, which is what they... or was that the Slow Force in Justice League?
Still Force in Justice League. It's the same thing.
Okay.
Same one.
Okay, well, that's good that they're tying all that together.
Yeah, and he's able to go after it because Barry and Wally broke the sort of force barrier that stops these things coming into our world and everything, and yeah.
The DC heroes are just having a bad time breaking shit, breaking the force wall, breaking the source wall.
Yeah, no, well, it was Hunter sort of manipulating Wally with like memories of his kids and saying, "I can bring them back if you just break this barrier. They'll come back." Why Wally decided to listen to Hunter, I'll never know.
It sounds very Mephisto, doesn't it? I can fix everything if you just make this deal with the devil.
Yeah. And then they end up stopping. They end up going into hyper time and stopping him. With Wally's, he's still got some of that temporal energy that he had. That like it's that energy that it allows him when he touches someone, they get the memories of him and.
Right, in the old universe.
Yeah, he actually ends up expelling that onto Hunter, and it quote unquote kills him. It like makes him disappear somewhere into the time stream or something. I don't know.
I guess they had to get rid of that magic touch power because the longer he had it, it's like, why doesn't he just touch everyone and remind them of the way the world used to be?
Well, they don't just get rid of that. They get rid of all the Flashes, Wally, Barry, all that ability to time travel.
Oh, because that's too much.
Yeah.
No.
They get rid of that completely.
Also, because Heroes in Crisis might be dealing with time travel, and we don't want to have the Flashes come in and save the day.
Yeah, don't want that question being like, why doesn't the Flash just travel back in time and stop it?
We know he can do it because I want the Booster Gold to do it.
Yeah. But yeah, they actually end up doing that, and then Wally is like obsessed with finding not only his kids but Hunter as well, since he's out there somewhere. But the interesting
Well,
thing
apparently
is,
he might be impersonating
yeah,
you.
yeah, somewhere.
He might have switched places with you. This might be it. This might be the moment they trade places.
It could very well possibly be. But the interesting thing is, with that force wall thing removed, other people can come into from being trapped in the hyper time space thing, and the one person that comes back is Bart Allen.
Of course.
Yeah, because Young Justice is coming, and
is he still a time traveling speedster? Because that was always Bart's thing, that he was a time traveling speedster. Is he the one who can still do it?
Well, I don't know, because he's only in one panel. He just like comes out from like, I don't know, wherever he comes, and just like speeds through the city. And
right.
And he's younger as well. He's like just like a little kid. He's not sort of aged up as he is in Young Justice.
Right.
Another interesting thing is that in the 25th century, the Iron Heights Penitentiary that was built by Eobard Thawne to hold only one particular person, that person got out and he kills the renegades. And we don't know who that person is, but on his like cell door, he's called Inmate Crisis.
Oh shit!
So and it could be one of two people. It could be Superboy Prime,
right.
Or it could be and I'm thinking it is this person. It could be an Anti-Monitor because of what the person says. The character says something that kind of matches up with what the Anti-Monitor said in Crisis of Infinite Earths,
right, where the Flash famously died.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing, Matt. I want to catch up on Flash now because that all sounds dope as fuck.
Flash War is 4 parts.
Wow, when does a big event ever be only 3 parts?
Yeah, it's a big. It's a really short one, but a lot happened, and it was really cool as well. It was probably like the best like summer event DC have had.
And they did really nothing to promote it. You could have just completely gone on if you weren't telling me about it.
People should probably be reading it.
Hey, Batman's wedding, fuck off, read Flash War.
Yeah, exactly. It's much better.
Hey, Man of Steel, read Flash War. By the sounds of it, it was way more satisfying.
It was really satisfying.
That's just the Flash in a nutshell. He'll have quality work and quality runs for years and years, and people won't discover it till years after the fact.
And then that's the thing, like with a character like Flash, who's ingrained in like the multiverse and like the history, and it needs to be like touted as a big event, because like oftentimes if there's like an event after it, it'll reference that Flash event or something that happened, and people will be like, what's happened? What's going on?
The last big Flash event they bothered pushing was Flashpoint.
Yeah, and there's been a couple since then that have been rather big. The Button, the Flash War, the stuff with Godspeed and everything.
Right. Although arguably, I'm sure the Button is like, no, that was a Batman story, I believe.
Yeah. It was involved with Speed Force and Jay Garrick and everything. So.
Oh, I guess Jay Garrick can come back now, can't he? I wonder if they'll ever... We'll probably have to wait till Doomsday Clock is done, but I wonder, will they ever make good on their promise for a new JSA team?
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully.
My picks for a JSA team would obviously be Garrick, would be on it, of course. Johnny Thunder, because we've been seeing him run around so much. Power Girl, because they put her in a little pocket dimension to try and save her, so Power Girl when she comes back.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Alan Scott Green Lantern, because he's hinted at it in Doomsday Clock.
He is. Maybe he's been inside the lantern all along.
Maybe.
You gotta let him out. Let Alan Scott out.
Yeah.
Hashtag rub that lamp. Let him out. What else did I have this week? Oh, I had, of course, Detective Comics, which is the continuation of this Black Lightning storyline that they're doing from Hill. I liked this one better than the previous one, but there's still a lot of continuity stuff that just sticks in my craw about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, where Batman's like, oh, I need to write off my team now. I need to send them away. I need Black Lightning's help as a teacher and a principal. Oh, I just can't relate to my kids anymore. You were relating to them in the last arc. What the fuck changed? no, this karma guy, he's just so tough and so strong and he's so badass. No, he's playing with the cheats on because he has an alien helmet, apparently.
Yeah, he's got a mask that tells him everything about the person he looks at.
Which that seems like lazy writing to me. Oh, I need to build up a new strong villain to fight Batman. How do I do it? The helmet does everything.
Yeah, it seems to me like this. I'm like, oh, we couldn't use the Psycho Pirate mask. We'll just make something else.
Yeah, I've got a helmet that lets me do everything all the time.
Yeah.
I will admit the stuff where he actually writes Jefferson Pierce and actually writes Black Lightning, and he talks about, his inspiration and why he fights crime and why he believes he can make a difference and everything. That's really good.
Yeah, I really like that part. Like bringing him in as sort of like having to deal with these kids and everything, and him wanting to make a difference outside of the costume and everything.
Yeah. I've often said Black Lightning is untapped potential, not just because he's a dude who shoots lightning, but he's a hero and a teacher at the same time.
Yeah.
Which makes it all the more hilarious when Batman's like, I can't take care of my kids anymore. Jefferson, you do it. Jefferson, I'm giving you all my kids. And I'm like, Batman, on top of being a hero in another city and a principal in another city, you're now he needs to raise your kids. Jesus, Batman, give this man more work to do or something. I also like it's in this issue Black Lightning figures out that Batman is Bruce Wayne, and oh my god, he's actually sending kids to fight his war on crime, and he talks to Alfred about it, and Alfred's basically like, oh, I try not to think about it.
Yeah, I'm the only one who cares, and yeah, I try not to think about it. No one talks to me about it.
No, which instantly made me think about that shitty We Are Robin storyline and the Robin Corps, where when Batman died, Alfred gave a bunch of money and weapons to a bunch of inner city youth so they could fight homeless people. And I'm like, yeah, Alfred, that wasn't a great idea, was it? We don't talk about that, do we?
No.
Oh, it's terrible what Master Bruce does to children, but I don't know these children. It's fine. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But yeah, this one was better than the previous one. I just wish the villain wasn't so repetitive, and I wish Batman made more sense in terms of continuity.
Yeah, that's always like the weird thing with like Detective Comics. It's like kind of in continuity, but like sometimes it does stuff that you're like, hey, that doesn't really match up.
There are a lot of soft reboots. It's like, here's the thing, and I think someone even said this in the comment section. If you didn't read the Tynion run, which if you didn't, what's wrong with you? It was great. But if you're just picking this up now, it should read fine.
Yeah. Well, also, like, wasn't this, like, meant to, like, come earlier or something? Or is that just, like, an issue earlier or something? This run?
I think it was... No, it came an issue late, which is why we got that Blackfire story.
Yeah, that's right.
Kind of just put in the middle of it there. But yeah, that was Detective Comics. It was fine, ultimately.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else did you have, Matt?
What did I have? I have X-23 issue 1.
Oh yeah, the first issue of this from Mariko Tamako. How was this? I know you were a big fan and a big booster of the all-new Wolverine book under Tom King, so I really care what you have to say.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know there was a new writer.
That's good. That's really good.
That's good and that's bad. It's good that it's the same sort of adventures with Laura and Gabby and all that, but it's bad that it's not doing something else, not doing something new.
Do they at least explain why she's like, oh, I'm not going to wear the Wolverine costume anymore, I'm going to go back to X-23?
No. It's just basically all new Wolverine issue 36.
They just does. Here's the thing. I bet they're going to have to deal with that in the Return of Wolverine book. I bet that's what they're waiting for.
Yeah, and like even the story doesn't really inform it all that much. The story is basically she's hunting down mutant genetic material that's being sold on the black market, all that sort of stuff. Beast sends her on a mission to look for a captured scientist named Helen Marks. She comes in contact with the Stepford Cuckoos, who, as we learn, are the ones who've actually kidnapped this doctor and trying to use her.
And who are clones themselves.
Yeah, clones of Emma Frost. They're trying to use this doctor to help two of their dying sisters, who technically did die, but they're alive and they're like because of their psychic bodies and everything, they're like
They're a hive
deteriorating.
mind, yeah.
They're like deteriorating really quickly and everything in these bodies, and they need help. And it seeks to imply that they have like a Weapon X serum, or like Wolverine's blood or something that they're using to like keep them alive. Yeah, it's very strange because the way it's like sort of paneled and everything. I'm guessing next issue we'll find out like what more about it. But yeah, very really cool book though. It was like a lot of fun seeing like Gabby and Laura. They're like a team now.
That's good.
They both got their costumes and everything. And Laura doesn't actually wear her Wolverine costume anymore. She's got like a newer costume, which is like,
Yeah.
it's kind of the same but like without like the mask.
Right, yeah. I might have to check that out. It's funny. I talked a bunch of shit about the Spider-Man clone, but it's funny if they're having the Wolverine clone come up against the Emma Frost clones. It might actually be funny if the Spider-Man clone showed up in this. Either one of them. You could have Ben Reilly or Kane. I don't think they've ever met, and I think that would actually make for a good story.
Yeah.
If they met, they'd have a lot to talk about. You could make a whole team that was just clones.
The clone team.
Clone Force.
The Clone Clan.
Oh, no. Ooh, that clan word. I don't like that. We might have to change that. The clone caper. Clone contingent. There you go. The clone contingent. See, that sounds too corporate and official if you put, corporate in there. If you put contingent, although Clone Corp actually kind of works.
Yeah.
It's not Clone Corps, it's you actually say corpse because we're a corporation.
Yeah, and they're corpses as well.
And they're also kind of corpses. I mean, we're all corpses, Matt. We're just not there yet. We're all pre-corpses. Speaking of X-23, I read Adamantium Agenda this week, and hilariously, she was doing much of the same. She joined up with the New Avengers to fight Mr. Sinister, who has not only stolen Wolverine's DNA, but has apparently stolen DNA from everyone in the world.
Yeah, he's got like this big like mainframe that's just full of like DNA of almost everyone in the world.
Which is just disgusting. How did Mr. Sinister get all that DNA from everyone in the world?
Oh, he went on a lot of grinder dates.
We can see he can teleport, so does he just go in and out? Haha, this is mine now. Did the devil just teleport in here and steal my spit and jizz and blood? Why did that happen? Why is this world weird? Yeah, I'm enjoying those Hunt for Wolverine books, but I have this overwhelming idea that they're not actually going to amount to anything. It's only the final special issue that's going to actually matter.
That seems to be like where it's going. Like the other week they had the Weapon Lost one, and they fought the Wolverine they were tracking, and it turned out to be Albert.
Oh yeah, the robot.
Yeah, they like fought him for like a couple of pages, and then Cypher like blew him up.
Which that's a fucking deep cut to bring the Wolverine robot in.
Yeah.
It's funny, you know how much my fan base doesn't give a shit about Weapon Lost? I gave them all a list tonight of books I needed to catch up on. Some I was 3 behind, some I was 2 behind. I'm 2 behind on Weapon Lost. Everyone wanted to hear Daredevil and Miss Marvel more than they wanted to hear about Weapon Lost.
Which is hilarious because Daredevil's in Weapon Lost.
I know, I'm like, really? You want the main Daredevil more? Okay, I mean, I can't fight you on that, all right. It's up to you. You're the fans. I try and give you what you want. It was great, by the way, Daredevil.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's the big conclusion to the Hand invade New York City. Daredevil has to fight them off, but he has to make, some really hard choices to do so. He has to let, Hammerhead and Diamondback and all the gang lords out of jail so they can fight against the ninjas.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to cut a deal with Elektra so she'll help fight the ninjas. And then who saves the day? This is the most unexpected shit. It's the shit that made me love it. His priest comes to help him out because Daredevil gets infected by evil hand energy, and so the priest has to have an exorcism to get it out of him.
Oh, that's cool.
It's amazing. And then we find out that the priest, who actually showed up in a previous issue, he was the guy who Matt was confessing to about how he made everyone forget he was Daredevil with Purple Man power. Mm-hmm. His priest is part of a secret military Catholic order called the Ordo Draconum, the Order of the Dragon.
Jesus.
which has fought evil across centuries since like 1500s Hungary, and now they've come to New York to help Daredevil fight the Hand. And I'm like, oh my god, they're the Iscariot organization from Helsing, literally. And Daredevil's like, oh, these ninjas, they're too tough. I can't beat them with my billy club. And the priest is like, it's okay. Here's a sword. So Daredevil gets a giant claymore, and he's killing ninjas with a claymore. Then they get like bunkered down because like ninjas are firing too much arrows. And Daredevil's like, wait, this is New York, which means cops ride horses. So they get fucking Dark Knight Returns. They jump on horses and ride to the streets, fighting ninjas to take back City Hall. And I'm like, this is the greatest shit ever.
Oh, that's so cool.
They also write off his sidekick this issue because it's kind of the sidekick's fault that the Hand are attacking. So the Order Draconum is like, it's okay, we'll take the boy with us and teach him and learn him good. So there you go. That's how they wrote Blind Spot out. And then Fisk becomes mayor again on the condition that he won't hunt superheroes anymore. But obviously that's bullshit if you read the Spider-Man book and everything else. But Matt Murdock does learn that Fisk did indeed fix the election, and that's going to be his mission going forward, to try and undo the election fixing.
Awesome.
And again, if we continue to be pulled from the headlines, I'm awaiting Wilson Fisk to be like, yes, I fixed the election with the help of Omega Red.
Yeah.
Thanks, Omega Red and Crimson Dynamo and all these other Russian bad guys.
Yeah, and for some reason, Colossus, just cause.
Yeah, Colossus also helped fix the election, but I thought you were a good guy. Colossus is many things. Colossus has elite hacksaw skills. Bitch, you didn't know that, but I do. But yeah, Daredevil was dope as shit.
That sounds awesome.
And the next run is going to be the Phil Noto drawn run, so that's going to be great too.
I might have to pick that up if it's Phil Noto drawing it.
They're making it seem like this is the time to start reading Daredevil if you're not already.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's good. What else did you have, Matt?
I had Titans issue 23.
Ah, yes. How was this?
It was really good. It was Dan Abnett's first post No Justice shake-up with his team, where the Titans have now become sort of a Justice League response team for these new metahumans springing up in the wake of the Source Wall being destroyed. They go out on their first mission, which involves them going to Manhattan to deal with some Source Wall energy. They end up finding the guy, and it's not really a threat though, because the guy is being told by something in his head, by his powers, that he's got to kill the bad guy. Yeah. And for the longest time, the team's sort of fighting with one another, especially Dick and Miss Martian, because Miss Martian's obviously the she's the Justice League attaché, sort of looking over them. She wants to sort of take command, whereas it's Dick's team, and there's I
heard a lot of people didn't like that they're writing Miss Martian, who's normally fun and bubbly, as just this busybody cracking the whip.
Well, that's the thing. I think this kind of fits in with what we saw of Martian Manhunter in Superman this week as well, because he's at the end of the issue, and he's talking about, don't get close to the team, don't get to know them, don't let them know your secrets, and he's kind of being a little bit sinister in that way.
Maybe they're white Martians. Maybe again, John got switched out with a white Martian. This is all part of a white Martian invasion plan.
Probably something like that. Yeah.
Especially if Snyder is so in love with the Justice League cartoon. What was the first arc? What did they fight? Shape-shifting villains.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And Scott Snyder, was it this week's or last week's Justice League? They had white Martians in that.
Last week they were sure to mention white Martians and say, hey, there's white Martians on Earth in stasis. Yeah,
so yeah, maybe this could be a big event somewhere.
I mean, Miss Martian already is a white Martian. That's
the
thing.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, it could be just that though. They could be, don't let them know you're a white Martian, because they know white Martians are evil, and yeah. But
why do they know white Martians are evil, John? Oh, because I've been telling them white Martians are evil this whole time. I'm also saying they're smelly and not as smart. I really fucking hate white Martians. Did you know that?
Yeah. They burnt my planet.
Yeah. Well, is that still canon, or did the Yellow Lanterns do it? Because in the
It,
last Martian Manhunter miniseries, they say Yellow Lanterns did it.
I don't know. It's kind of on the wall at the moment because I
They
know
always
I
do.
know they reference it in like Justice League and everything, and it seeks to imply that like something like some type of fire killed off all his people. They don't say who did the fire though.
I bet Snyder's going to change it again and make it something different.
Yeah, he'll make it something. Yeah.
Right. But yes, continue.
But yeah, it was a really cool issue. They end up meeting this guy Tyler, who's got some type of metahuman power, and they end up fighting this. There's like an evil metahuman as well in the story, who's like this shapeshifter, who shapeshifts into like this giant like monster, and Tyler ends up killing the man accidentally,
Mm.
and the mission ends up being kind of a failure, and Dick thinks it's a failure because someone died, but Miss Martian's like, we'll learn. We'll learn. And Dick's like, no, that's not okay. Someone died. We need rules. And she's like, study it and learn from it.
Well, geez, that kind of makes that rumor sound more accurate now that they're trying to push Dick Grayson out of that book and elsewhere.
Yeah, it kind of does, which is really strange because yeah, he's the one who wanted this team to be set up.
But we need to put Red Robin somewhere, and we don't trust him enough to have a solo series. I would, because you have no Batman and Robin. I would have Red Robin and Spoiler, and that would be the thing.
Yeah, the Titans set up a team there. They've gone off to go somewhere. They could be solving mysteries over at Ivy College or something. Or,
Yeah,
yeah.
make it a duo book. Make it a romance book, which you don't have. A book held down by like a couple. That would be fun.
Yeah, exactly. But he's got to come and lead this team or
Apparently,
something.
because
Yeah.
Young Justice synergy, and also apparently they hate couples now for some reason.
Yeah, yeah, they can't have Batman get married. They hate Bat family couples.
Yeah, which is weird after like so long of giving Superman shit about it. All right, but yeah, that was Titans. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's no word on like because apparently Brother Blood's going to be like the first villain or something.
That's right, because that was the backup.
Yeah, so like he hasn't appeared yet. So yeah.
I always liked Brother Blood as a concept.
Yeah, and he had a cool design in that special as well.
He sure did. I had the Punisher this week.
Yeah.
This is the continuation of Frank Castle, Black Widow, and Bucky try and kill evil Steve Rogers and end the Secret Empire.
Yeah, I'm guessing that doesn't go as planned.
No, they get so close. There's an amazing bit where like Punisher and his team are like, okay, we're gonna raid the prison. Ah, crap, Hydra beat us to it. They're gonna try and break him out. And like Punisher's walking through the prison in his suit, and everyone's like making fun of him because all the inmates are out and like, it's War Machine. War Machine doesn't kill. To which he's like, not War Machine. Then flamethrowers a whole bunch of people to death.
Ah, that's awesome.
Not War Machine. And Bucky doesn't like him. It's like, hey, man, we might respect each other, but I don't like your tactics, and I don't like this and that about you. And Frank says probably the funniest thing I've ever heard in a long time. He's like, hey, my armor's not working right. You can fix it with your techno-organic arm, right? And he's like, motherfucker, do you think I'm Cable? Wait, you mean you're not?
Yeah. Oh, you're that useless? Oh.
Yeah. And then he's like, hey, look, man, I know we both have histories of fighting on the wrong side for the, people we didn't want to be. And he's like, oh, so you do know who I am. It's just so great to see them hate each other so much. And Evil Steve is here in the comics, but to get to him, Frank Castle is going to have to go through Iron Man.
Oh, okay.
Which, okay, it's an armor versus armor fight, and this also seeks to imply that this story has caught up with the canon of the Iron Man book, which means if Tony is back, Rhodey is back, too.
Yeah, so Rhodey will be wanting his suit back, I imagine.
And I hope that becomes a thing. I hope Rhodey's like, hey, soldier to soldier, can I have my armor back? Because if he doesn't give it back, Frank's kind of a dick. No, I like it now. Take it from me.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like how it was at the beginning of this arc. After he'd finished that stuff over in that country, he's like, I kind of want to keep this armor now.
Yeah, I kind of like it. It makes killing dudes way easier. Also, apparently the new solo Punisher series where he doesn't have the armor and he's going back to basics, apparently that got pushed back for some reason.
I was wondering that because I remember hearing like ages ago about that, and I thought like it had already begun that, and we were kind of finishing up this Iron Punisher arc, and yeah, I'm still surprised that that's still going.
Yeah, we are finishing this up. It's clearly reaching its natural conclusion, but yeah, we're gonna have to wait a bit for a new Punisher #1.
Oh, that sucks.
I think it might be an art thing. I think it's the art guy who's holding it
Oh,
up, but I
okay.
don't know why.
Okay.
But yeah, good on Matthew Rosenberg. He's becoming one of my favorite Marvel writers right now.
Yeah, he's a really cool writer.
He is. Everything he does is fun, and if you read every story he writes, he has this interesting through line
Yeah,
that
it's
goes
like
through
connected.
everything.
It's kind of all connected. It's like its own little universe.
Yeah, it's the Rosenberg universe. Like what he did in Tales of Suspense is paying off here in Punisher, which he uses the same country that he had from his Inhumans team book, which drops reference to his Kingpin and his Rocket Raccoon
Yeah,
book. Yeah, they're all connected. It's
yeah.
pretty cool. I have one more after this.
All right, go. Just go. I'm pretty much finished.
Okay. I read Deathstroke 33.
Yeah, I'm like half read that book so far.
It's a little nuts, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
Christopher Priest is a big fan of not telling stories in order, but man, does he go nuts on this one.
he really does.
I think he's like I enjoyed this issue, but I enjoyed it for the madness factor. I truly think he's lost the through line of what this story was supposed to be.
Yeah, this issue, like last issue was kind of easy to read and everything, but this issue is like, yeah, what the fuck is going on?
Like Damien's already hanging out with Deathstroke, who he's allowing to tag along with him because he likes the idea of having a hostage, so Batman won't screw with him while he tries to assassinate someone. And Damien agrees to help, but he doesn't get to kill anyone because he doesn't have a bullet in his gun. But maybe he would have done it, but maybe he did, but wouldn't. And it's really nuts.
It is, and it's especially nuts after, like, will this inform somehow, like him being part of Deathstroke's little side mission and everything, inform how he is in the Teen Titans book, like why he kills and
it's
everything.
it's it's funny if they had literally ended this series with being like, yes, Damien is actually Deathstroke's son, and by hanging out with him, he's like, oh, this is what I could become one day. I would actually have accepted murderous Damien more if that was just the fucked up
Yeah,
direction they wanted to go.
yeah.
It's not though, but like again, I feel like maybe at some point they told Priest, yes, this is what we're gonna do. Actually, no, people were really mad about it. Let's not do it.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that.
This story is also still not done. There's still 2 more issues to finish this off, and we still have no idea who fabricated these results.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. It was like, was it Talia? Was it Alfred and Wintergreen? Was it
I think it has to be, because why do they keep bringing those 2 back?
exactly? They come and the way they bringing them up, they're like, oh, these two are fighting again. Oh, best get the Damien father, who is he, folder out and throw it at Batman and.
To which case, I'm like, you better have a goddamn good reason as to why it's Wintergreen and Alfred if it is.
Yeah.
Because this seems like you're massively inconveniencing everyone involved if it's not.
Yeah, and letting people die as well.
Yeah, there better be an excellent reason as to why you guys let this happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one was a little all over the place, but I still enjoyed it for how fucked up it was. I also think there's a moment here where Deathstroke, it's like, okay, are you officially too powerful now? Because he fights Nightshade and he absorbs her magic with his sword, and then he goes to like the Nightshade dimension and his Icon armor protects him. And I'm like, are you too powerful now? Are you too OP?
That's the problem. The Icon armor has become kind of like a like anything. It can stop anything. It can, he fought Superman to a standstill in it. It can do all this stuff and everything, and it's kind of getting a bit ridiculous.
And none of this answers the super important question, that is, we know the voice he was hearing, like the AI voice, wasn't actually an AI voice. He was just crazy and he ended up in Arkham. But then we go from him in Arkham to this story with no connection as to what that was.
That's I remember someone telling me that, and then like I read this story, and then I'm like, but okay, so is he still crazy? Is that the suit talking to him? Is it just like him talking to himself in his head? Yeah, it's so strange.
The placement of this Batman versus Deathstroke story is so weird.
It makes me think maybe this was meant to come like earlier.
I think so. This feels like a story he had in the bank, and they're like, okay, tell it now.
Yeah, especially since like, because just before he started writing this, he did the Justice League thing, and that included Deathstroke, and
yes,
it kind of seems like they all meant to sort of somehow connect up a little bit.
But it didn't.
Nah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically everything I read this week.
Cool.
All right, is that it for us then? Have we talked enough?
I think so, yeah.
Well, alrighty then, everyone. I want to thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed this one. We hope more people listened to this one this week than they did the Ant-Man one. That one shockingly underperformed. I was surprised. I'm like, really? Does no one give a shit about Ant-Man that much?
Apparently not.
Apparently not, everyone. We promise we will make you suffer through no more Ant-Man related content moving forward. We'll just put it away. We'll put that Ant-Man away, and it will never have to hurt you. But yeah, so I mean, that's the episode, everyone. If, as always, if you are a patron, you'll get to listen to this episode first before anyone else. That's usually Sunday night after we record. We try and put it up. You also get the video version a couple days later before it pops up on YouTube. Thanks to Matt.
Yep.
Next week we will be going live Sunday. Maybe 9, maybe 10, depending what time we figure it. But I figure it's summer hours now, so people can friggin' watch whenever they want.
Yeah.
And that'll be good. Anything else to promote, Matt? Anything at all?
Not really. No, just the live show. That's going to be really fun. Hey, we got Comic Con's going to be really fun, even though we're not going.
No, we're not going, and apparently it's terrible to go now. Apparently it's just the worst.
I've heard from a lot of people it's a lot of lining up and you never really get to see what you want to see, and yeah,
apparently just all the fun has been sucked out of it now and it's gone completely Hollywood and corporate. At least New York Comic-Con hasn't gone that way, and I will be going in October. I'll be staying in a pod hotel for the first time.
Ooh, interesting.
Everything is not because I want to, it's because literally everything else was sold out. That's how long in advance is. What's a pod hotel? Hey, you know all the amenities of a hotel that makes it feel like home? Yeah, we get rid of those.
You get a little booth.
Get a little booth. But we only charge you $200 a night, which in New York is pretty good.
Yeah.
And I have a little saved up for that. I still got to buy a couple things here, so don't be surprised if I do like a 24-hour Twitch stream to be like, hey, can I get some money? I can get to the city, but I won't be eating. I'll be doing the real New York experience. I'll be hanging out with a team of bums to go look for pizza crust.
Yeah, look for Joel looking through the bins at New York Comic-Con.
The human body can survive 3 weeks without food so long as you have water. 3 days without water, although you'll tend to hallucinate. Just me walking around, hey, nice to meet you, so hungry, can I have some food? That's a nice piece of pizza you have there, can I have a bite? And on that note, everyone, I think we'll bring this show to a close. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye.
Bye-bye.